Hello, and welcome to the finally very longly awaited placement review vlog. What's happened to my throat? It's been so long since I've sat down and vlogged. Literally, it's been a month. Oh heck, why is this so watery? Oh, ooh. I miss the coffees Imajica made me. Coffees, they were a lot better. So, placement, Imajica. I finished my placement on the 26th of April? Yes. That took me a really long time to figure out. It's taken me a while to get around to filming a little overview vlog, but so much happened during the 3 months I was at Imajica. I'm kind of struggling with how to even start a vlog about my experience there, so yeah, I've been putting it off a little bit, I'm sorry, but I've just decided I needed to just dive into it and just go over everything. Everything I filmed, or what I did film, and just talk about it. So that's what this video is going to be, so I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, this is a vlog all about my placement at Imajica. So initially I did start filming 2 weeks at a time when I was at Imajica. So there is 2 more in-depth videos about like 2-week periods. However, I got pretty ill by week 5, and after that I didn't film as much. I was just concentrating on working as hard as I could, and I filmed bits and pieces every now and then because I kind of decided that I wasn't going to be able to keep up with the uploading every 2 weeks, and I was just going to do a video at the very end, which this is, so yay. I've got a list on my laptop of pretty much all the things that I want to talk about and the projects I did. I had this little notebook during my placement that I wrote everything down in, and I'm really annoyed that I left it at university as part of my submission. I had to submit it because it had all my notes and like everything I did on a day-to-day basis, but it would have been really helpful for this video if I had like the notebook so I could show you guys like little sketches and notes that I did about the project, but I don't have it, so I'm sorry. I don't have that. Because this is going to be like a roundup of my placement, I just want to recap a few things. Imajica is a branding agency in Aberdeen. I started on the 4th of February, I finished on the 26th of April. It was the best experience so far I've had during my university course. I loved every minute of it. The guys I got to work with were sound, amazing people. Like they encouraged me so much in every aspect, from designing to talking about my ideas to vlogging. Like they encouraged it so much. Like they were just so good at everything and made me feel really part of that team. And when it came to letting me help out on projects, I was really given projects to help out on. Like I wasn't just like, oh, can you do like these very small minute tasks? I got to do some really big and interesting projects while I was on my placement there. Like it wasn't one of those kind of internships where people just make coffee. Like I jokingly said that I made coffee at Imajica, but like genuinely they made more coffee than I did. Like I got to do so many cool things. It'd make probably the most sense if I talked about the project I got to work on the most, kind of like my kind of project I saw it as, because when we first got it, then it was kind of just handed to me. It was a client they'd previously had many years ago. So basically they needed updating as a whole. They needed their website redone, and they needed their logo kind of revamped a little, and they needed their spec sheet redone. So my job was kind of looking at the logo initially and kind of playing about with it, making it anew, and then redesigning their spec sheet and doing a bit there. But one of the main key things I did for that project was the product shoot. So basically, Moscow was a company that was selling a product called the Exit Sub, and I got to take photos of the Exit Sub and edit them all. Edit them a lot. So it's this tool that like helps people get out of a well. I'm really still not sure. Like this is how vast the job I was doing was. Like one day I'd be working on a website for a tour company, to then making a website for a product that gets people out of wells. It was very varied. Like the knowledge you have to have on what your clients are asking you for was wide. But basically I was making a spec sheet for it. So when I was taking the photos and editing these photos, I was thinking about how they would look on the website, how they would sit and function within the website, what things we might be doing, like could it rotate, could it be 3D? It needed to be cut out and work on different backgrounds, and it could be placed over certain things and have, like, there was so much I had to think about when I was taking the photos and editing the photos, and it really gave me a good mindset, that project of like carrying things forward, especially like making sure these images could be used multiply across different platforms. So that was something really beneficial that I learned while doing that project. I almost cried at the end of the day when I still knew I had more photos to edit of this product, because it was painful having to cut out that exit sub like so many times. But I got really good at cutting things out in Photoshop, but it was painful, so painful, but a worthwhile experience. It was really actually quite rewarding as well, once I had cut out all the images, seeing them on the website and seeing how they functioned. Like, Craig built the website, and it was really nice to see how what I had done then became part of it. I'm still like very new to web design, so this was something I learned a lot about on placement, was how to build a website and what a website should have. And I still it's a whole new ball game for me, like, but it's very interesting, and it's something I definitely want to learn a little bit more about and get more involved with, especially come fourth year. I feel like I could have a project based on web design somewhere, even if it's just a personal project, but that could be something I delve into over the summer. We'll see. Another project that I worked a lot on but not really filmed much on was a company called Warago, which I'm still overwhelmed with how much involvement I got to have in that when it's such a big company. I got to help make the business cards for them, and a little bit of their website I helped out with, and also a PowerPoint presentation, which is something as a design student I never thought I'd have to be doing, like editing a PowerPoint presentation. Very strange for me, but a worthwhile experience nonetheless. Like, that was amazing. Knowing that this is going to be seen by a lot of people, a lot of high-end clients, will I say. It was very stressful and exhilarating at the same time, knowing that it was such a high, not a high risk, but you know what I'm trying to say, like, it was like a proper big project and it had to be done correctly, and it was very interesting getting to work on that. There was other projects in between, the big projects, like updating websites, like Team Dynamics website, I got to update that, and doing little bits and pieces here and there. There was also helping redesign and rebuild the Imajica website. They have this thing called the Isotope, where all their client work is uploaded, so that if they had a client in, they could show them, like, this is all the stuff we've done within this sector, like branding, print, media, web, like all these different sectors, and then the clients and what they fall into, like, is it like oil, or is it fitness or food? Like, they had all these different categories, and I got to go through their more recent client work, stuff in the last couple of years that they hadn't had a chance to really upload to their website, and mock it all up and make it look really slick and professional, using like templates and stuff that Imajica already had, and kind of like polish it all up and make it look like a set. And that was quite fun for me, because I've not really mocked up a lot of my own work, and I see it now as a tool that I could be using to help make my designs look a little bit more finished and polished when I couldn't necessarily make them for a final for uni or something like that. So that was quite interesting, and I know that, again, that's quite a very important task, is updating Imajica's website, because that is how they're going to present themselves, and it felt quite rewarding knowing that what I was doing was going to help them in the long run. It's really hard to recount on now everything that I did, especially when I wasn't filming at all. Like, I've got a note of what I've filmed, and I feel like I've spoken about it all, but I know that I've not spoken about the entire 3 months as a whole. But it's just hard to kind of like recount now everything that happened, because everything that happened was just so in the moment for me. I was like, wow, okay, right, today I'm working on this, and then today I'm working on this. I completely forgot to talk about OPEC. So the most recent project I was working on was OPEC, which it was a very different client. Again, like, you had to learn so much about your clients. I ended up having to read all these like different brochures and packages and stuff about the company OPEC. basically the task was IPEC really wanted to rebrand themselves and just redefine themselves as like a modern, more approachable company. And this was like the most exciting part of the placement, was getting to really like dig our teeth in and be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do with it. We're gonna completely reinvent you. We're gonna give you new color schemes. We're gonna give you a new logo. We're gonna give you a new typeface. We're gonna present yourselves completely differently. And like the guys were so like, go for it, do what you want. Like, this is what we like. Go for it. And it was really interesting being involved in something like that, because like you did feel like you had complete creative reign. And I think I designed God knows how many logos I came up with, but I was like constantly making up new logos in Illustrator for 3 days, and it blew my mind how many designs came out of my mind, because in the past in uni, like I've just kind of done maybe 2 designs and kind of gone with the first one because I'm like, I like that one the most. But with this project, I wasn't allowed to just go with, I've come up with one design. I had to come up with heaps and heaps of different concepts, and I loved it. Like when I went back and looked at how many I made, I was like, wow, I've never done that many designs before. And that to me showed me how much this placement has benefited me. Like I've learned so much. I've come on so far from the start of my placement, and it's just it's so rewarding. Oh, they were just so kind to me, and on my last day we all went out for a meal, and they gave me a card and a couple of vouchers for Amazon so I could buy a new lens, and then they offered me a job with them, and I'm over the moon, because like I've never been successful before in this kind of like process of getting a design job. I've applied multiple times before to different agencies and different companies, and then Imajica was the first one that gave me a yes for my interview, and an offering at the end of the placement was just like the icing on top of the cake, with millions of cherries and sprinkles and flakes and candles and everything. Oh my god, it's just the best thing ever. Oh, there's some car horns outside. I've just noticed how dark it's gotten. It's 8 o'clock at night. That's bad that I've let this go on for so late. Oh, so yes, that's my placement review vlog from Imajica. Apologies I didn't film much while I was on placement. Again, I was too busy working, and you know when you're sitting at a desk just constantly editing and working on stuff, you don't really want to like have to set up your camera and think about what the camera's filming. You just want to get on with it. So that's what I did. Thank you to everyone who's watching and supported me and taken care of me while I was on placement. It was a very intense 3 months for me, so you probably saw me in some states, and I can't wait to be more chilled out and not working 70 hours a week while on placement. I'll be working 20 hours a week, which is much more feasible for me, because also I want to continue doing my own stuff, so that'll be cool. A little different little note at the end of this video. If you haven't watched my short documentary about Lucid Thoughts Apparel, could you please do so, because I am very proud of that video, and I'd love everyone to see it and to know how much goes into my little apparel company that I've made. It's definitely paying off. There's been quite a few people ordering t-shirts and hoodies lately, so I'm very happy. Everything's just going well for me right now. I'm just waiting for something bad to happen. Hopefully not. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I will see you guys next week with a studio vlog, because I have missed doing my little studio vlogs and I can't wait to do another one soon. Right, thank you, and I'll see you next week.